I just look at myself. That is a video of me walking. Happy Labor Day. This is how far I've come with rehab, and there's still a load to go, but it's helpful to see progress. That after surgery, I was not sitting up straight, and now I can like walk like a baby. It's progress. So that that feels really good. Actually, I started walking. The first time that I walked was with Daniel. I think I gave you this update last time that with my PT while I was being evaluated at TIER and outpatient, and it was like the first time that I used my legs in 6 weeks, and since then I'm trying to get faster. So Mason Marquis, who stayed this weekend, bought a bunch of mirrors so I can see myself, because I saw myself. Some of this is like your brain doesn't trust you to do the actions as fast as you would naturally do them, as fast as your body can do them, and so seeing myself helps in that. It's always good to see a friendly face, but it's also more so I see how slowly I'm doing things, and so going faster is the next step while still being safe. So rehab is going well. Happy Labor Day. I'm going to start doing the treatment tomorrow. My last video was very happy, and I don't mean to be naive about this, that it has been hard, but it's still been something that I'm working on. Treatment for cancer starts tomorrow, so it's crazy to think of the fact that all of this, meanwhile, has been just like it's a traumatic brain injury in addition to cancer, and so all this stuff up until now has been rehab, and meanwhile, I've yet to begin the treatment for cancer, so that starts, and I know it'll be bad. I've heard that it's bad from lots of people, and I see on Instagram that it's something to like ultimately it's something to persevere through, and to keep that in mind. So that starts tomorrow with the proton therapy, and then I have to, after that, chemo, and the body will is essentially, you're trying to attack cancer to outlive the cancer, and while you're doing that, you're still in some ways attacking the body, and so I think that having a positive attitude is the best way to go through that. I already said rehab was going well, but more specifically, I've gotten this therapy stuff that I don't have it here, but my right hand is, like, my right side is not as dexterous as my left hand, my left side. So on gross motor functions like walking, my right leg can help out, but on things like writing, I like write very poorly, and so with this therapy, I'm able to break down the steps of writing. It basically looks like a kid's toy. It looks like GAC, and I'm able to break down those complex movements that you do when you write, to like more basic things like pinching. The way you pick up a thing is not the same way that you may put it down, and it's less frustrating and more fun. So so all that remains is like, how do I figure out what my goals should be for speech? Because up until this point, I've had goals that relate to the tests that they give you in speech, and not related to what I'll do when I go back to work. And so my dad helped me think of some goals. Claire doesn't only. I realize that these are my thank yous. That Claire doesn't only um, take care of Theo, but she also takes care of logistics. And so an example of that was that I got a call this Tuesday or last Tuesday that I had scheduled my proton therapy treatments, and this wasn't showing up on my app that I have through MD Anderson, and it also wasn't showing. I couldn't get in touch with the person who's in charge, the doctor who's in charge of the therapies, and I spent 2 days on this. It means that you get in touch with the insurance company as well as MD Anderson, like two different departments that more or less don't speak to each other and don't speak to me. And meanwhile, I don't sound very convincing on the phone. So Claire has taken care of logistics, and she did that in a day, and meanwhile got the appointment switched from 11 at night to 2 in the afternoon. So that's very helpful. But she's also I already said that she's taking care of Pico, but she's taking care of Theo, but she's taking care of me too. And I ask her to do stuff for me all the time. MHS, Claire took me to MHS last Friday, and it was good to see all those people. I have to give a shout out to Principal Weir and the two students who were probably mesmerized to see me because they don't know that they just happened to wander in to Miss Weir's office. And I happen to be there, and meanwhile, if you see me, and I can't use my arms in the way that would normally do, it was good to see them, and it was good to see all the people who came to see me at the English department, but also the assistant principals, associate principals, as well as the counselors saw me, and it was something that I've been thinking, like, how do you go back to life, normal life, while still doing this thing, and it demystified it in a good way, and made it like much more approachable and much more real. Delmar, Claire's work has worked with her. That's a company out of Louisiana, and they've been very flexible. Like she's an incredible help to me, but her company has been a help to her. My parents, I already said how. Oh, I need to shave. I already said how my dad helped me with speech goals and or concrete examples of speech goals that I could tell the speech therapists, so they didn't have me working on these abstruse tasks. But my mom, this week, she's going to take care of her mom, who's like 90. It's bad that I don't know. But 92, I think. 92. And she's going to El Paso to do that, but she's been an incredible help to me, doing all the things that I can't do for me in rehab. We had some visitors last week and this week. So Chris Damaris, it was good to see him. Travis Bauer went to Snooze and AM Eatery, and Travis held down the table for us, and Travis was there, so it's good to see him. Mason Marquis stayed with us, and that's was a blast from the past because, and he also wrote a letter which included a lot of his thoughts. And Claire and Mason and I roomed together. Mason and I roomed together in college, and then Claire, Mason, and I roomed together right out of college, and so that was fun. And Audrey Campbell I've known since like kindergarten, came by, and that was good. Joe Shiflett baby-proofed our house for us, and that's a big help because. Okay, I'm the practical one out of the two of us, and I'm not that practical. And so it was nice to have Joe come here and baby-proof the house for Theo because he's getting at that age where he's starting to open up chemicals and like pour them into his mouth. We're like, hey, a little bit goes a long way. Um, my parents.
You're the more practical one of the two of us.
Yeah. So that's true. You're more logistical, but I'm more practical. So like, who would put that fence post down or back up? It would probably be me because it's not been done, and it's been down forever.
You're just talking about handiwork around the house. Yeah, I don't like to do
that. Okay. Megan and Dan hooked us up with a laundry service that is incredibly helpful. And Jessica had a grocery service called Shipt that we're using, and so a thank you to them. And I've tried to use Mason like asked me if I face any discrimination as a disabled person, and I haven't. The majority of what happens is that there are long times where you don't know what to do, and it's awkward. And so like I got onto an elevator in my wheelchair, and so already I feel like more like I'm doing the least amount of work, and then I just have to like stare at a lot of people's bellies, and so I'm like, hey, what's up? How's it going? Nice belt. What's up? So this Shipt person came over, and I've used my disability a few times, and I just pretended to be a vegetable when this person came over, and I think that she didn't get it. The Currys are taking care of Pico again. I realized that it was too much. Like it at the time when I couldn't do anything. It is too much to ask that Claire, after she put down Theo and after she feed me dinner, then she take Pico on a walk. I was like, this is you're probably gonna burn out. So they're taking care of him right now, and he couldn't be happier. And we've continued to get meals, and so that's been a thank you. That's been a big help to us, and so I have a thank you for that. And part of occupational therapy is getting back to music again. And I can't play guitar in the same way, but I think that Tim Duffield dropping off his keyboard is like I'll use that to get better. I don't think that I have anything else. Thank you to Mary Hecht, who it took me to Tier and has watched Theo, and Theo's not a big help. Like he's not taking care of himself, but he's still fun, and I watch videos of him when I can't sleep. So I'll give you updates on how the radiation is going, and that's all I have because it's been 14 minutes, and that's a long time.